The third eye, the first definition of the third eye is the pineal gland, the part of the mind that's allowing you to project yourself into reality, right? The part of the mind that's able to see without these eyes, that's able to speak without your mouth, that's able to hear without you actually using these ears, right? That's why they say you got a third eye, because you have these two eyes, and your mind's eye can see your past, your future. It can hear and see your reality without you even engaging in it with your body. That's why they call the pineal gland the third eye. But like I said, like Chief teaches, let's be objective and break this down. We know that this is the holographic universe. Quantum physics proved this. Your body is a projection of your mind. Remember, this is all imagination. This is all thought-based. Nothing becoming something. Zero becoming one. Darkness becoming light. This is how existence is starting. It's starting through thought. Your mind is encased in complete darkness. It never comes into contact with life itself. You're actually projecting yourself into a simulated reality. You see what I'm saying? This is a dream reflection, and this is the holographic universe. Everything that you see around you, the people, the places, the things, all of the objects, all of the symbols, all of the labels, all of that is you. It is an electrical signal being received by your brain, by your five senses, and your astrological program, which is the software of your being, is being used to interpret those signals. But even those being received from your environment, you're actually projecting them into your reality, because there's nothing outside of you. You are inside of your mind. You're inside of God's mind. We're inside the body of God. So we've been taught that these were eyes, but that's an illusion. Remember, reality is an illusion. What we think is reality is actually a fantasy. The real nature of reality is nothing but electrical signals, light, energy. These eyes are not actually eyes. If you look at a computer, right? Look at a computer, because your body is a supercomputer. It's a computer. Your melanin makes it a supercomputer. It makes it a super semiconductor, which it enhances your body's ability to be a conductor for the sun, for your whole reality. Now, these eyes are like projector lenses. These eyes are like projector lenses. Or like a computer monitor. You see, you got the computer box, which is the processor. That is your brain. Then you got the CD-ROM, which is the software. That's your DNA, your genetics, your astrological program. That's what's being interpreted to give you reality. And then you have other devices that's attached to the computer to make it whole, right? You got the mouse that help you click things. You got the speakers. You got the cords that connect everything. Those are the wires. You got the computer monitor. That is a monitor. That is the lens or the eye of the computer that's giving you the reality that you think that you see outside of you. And that's what your eyes are doing. Your eyes are not actually eyes. These are monitors, like computer monitors, that's giving you your reality. When you close your eyes, you don't see reality. That just goes to show you objectively that you're not receiving light photons from your reality, that you are, but you are projecting them into your reality. This is when you start to realize that, oh shit, I'm in a dream, and that everything that I see is not real. This is all a figment of my mind's imagination. So these eyes are monitors. They're lenses. They're optical organs or optical devices that's attached to a nerve called the optical nerve, which is attached to the brain and the nervous system, which is allowing you to stream your reality in front of you. And if the optical nerve was to be cut, if that wire that's connected to this organ to your brain was to be cut, you would no longer be able to see with these eyes. But remember, everything is a figment of your imagination, even your body, even the fact or the you being conscious that you have lenses or eyes. These are figments of your imagination as well. They're not real. You see what I'm saying? These aren't real either. And none of this is real. And when you start really thinking about this shit, like, damn, so I'm standing right here looking at my body. I'm not inside my body, but my body is actually inside of me. That's deep, yo. That's deep. That's something that we got to understand. That's going to open up your third eye, right? And this is truth. This is supreme reality. And this is where I get into the second definition of what it means to open up your third eye. Like Chief teaches, your third eye is your imagination, your awareness, your consciousness, your ability to perceive reality in the most supreme way. That's how you open your third eye. That is your third eye, because all is mental. If the first hermetic principle is all is mental, then how can you have three eyes? If all is mental and everything is in the mind, how can you have three eyes? Make it make sense. On top of that, you can't even have two eyes, because watch this. If I close this eye and look at reality with this eye, I see one thing. But if I close this eye and look at reality with this eye, I see the same vision. How can I have two eyes or three eyes but the same vision? That don't make sense. You got to really break that down. These are glitches that Chief has pointed out to us in the Matrix that break your illusion, that show you that life is a dream and what you think is real is a lie. You've been deceiving yourself. You hear the rooster crowing? We've been deceiving ourselves. This is not real. We're dreaming. And that's how you open up your third eye. That's how you open up your mind's eye. You have to tap into truth. You have to tap into the supreme truth of what reality is. And that's science, the study and observation of nature, quantum physics, holographic universe. You're dreaming. That's the only way you can truly open up or expand your awareness. You open up your imagination, and that's what your third eye is. It's your imagination. Your ability to imagine yourself into any reality, or to project yourself into any reality that you perceive is best for you, especially if it's aligned with nature. You see what I'm saying? Because you're living in your mind. The earth is located inside of your mind. You can't escape the earth. You can't smoke or drink or have sex or do nothing to escape the earth. You're inside of your mind, like Chief teaches. Wherever you go, there you will be. And the only way to get out of this existence or this hell realm is to imagine yourself in another reality. But the only way you can do that is through truth. Because if you try to imagine yourself into another reality based in the information that Babylon has given you, then you're going to build a reality based in lies, and that's going to fall and crumble because it's not built on a solid foundation. Truth, understanding, love, 5 sciences, divine knowledge itself. So you got to open up your third eye with truth, with objective information. Everybody's third eye closed right now, but the sun is heating up and it's activating certain people so that you can be awakened. And like Chief teaches, once your third eye, or once your mind expands and you become aware of the Christ consciousness, that you are everything and everything is you, because this is your birthright. As God, as a projection of God's mind and God's dream, it's your birthright for you to know that everything is you and you are everything else. And that's the Christ consciousness. That's what everybody talk about. That's the Christos. That's when you wake up and you tap into the dreamer, the Messiah, the Christ. That's when you tap into the Eligio Bishop and you awaken to the dream. And now you can see life for what it truly is. Now you're up in the dream. Now you're lucid in the dream, and you can move within reality with awareness, not being attached to places, people, places, and things, because you know it's all a figment of your mind. It's all a part of your natal chart. And that's why astrology is so important too. Because that's what your reality is based in. That's what it's being built in. That's what it's built upon. And if you don't know thyself, then you can't imagine yourself into another reality or a better reality. You can only perpetuate and reincarnate into a simulated environment similar to this one. And Babylon keep our minds closed. They keep our minds in the darkness through the information they teach us. Look at the system that they gave us with the education. First off, human beings, especially melanated beings like Chief teaches, we're not educated beings. You feel me? We're not educated beings. We're inspired people because we're innately in tune with nature. We're intuitive beings. We receive information from the sun and we channel that into our reality in the highest form. That's what melanin allows us to do. We have the capacity to do that. So we don't need their education. We don't need to be educated. No animal needs to be educated. But due to their education, that program has calloused our minds and distracted our minds from having the true awareness of what the universe is, right? They taught us that the earth is inside the universe, right? And the earth is located inside the Milky Way. And the Milky Way is located in the solar system. And the solar system is located within the universe. But the universe don't have a actual location. So if the universe don't have an actual location, then that means that the earth doesn't have an actual location, and that the earth, being that it's in a universe, is actually encased in darkness. And we are in a complete darkness all around us. And we don't know where we're at. And we don't know who we are. And this is why their information and why science today is not actually science, it's philosophy. And it keeps us in the dark from having knowledge itself. And if you subscribe to it, then you're doing it to yourself, because you have a choice. You don't have to choose to go and indulge in that information. There's so much information. In the abundance of information, the fool is thirsty. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. People act out here like they thirsty for knowledge, and they want to know the truth, and they want to do better. But the truth is already here. God is already here. The Eligio Bishop is here. The dreamer is awakening. So you too are awakening. And the truth is here for you to find it. Only if you vibrate to it. Only if you are an astrological match to the truth, then your imagination can be open and your third eye can be open so that you can see the truth. That life is a dream and that you live inside the mind of the Eligio Bishop, the Christ, the dreamer. And that's what we all waking up to. Every day we wake up, we portal back in, we log back in into the dream. Not realizing that we just came from a dream in our sleep, and we trick ourselves into believing that what we just woke up into is reality. Come on. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your kids, everything is a hologram reflection. Everything is a hologram here to show you something about you. Your relationship is here to show you something about you. But all of these things are set up as obstacles to keep you from opening your imagination, from keeping you being aware that life is a dream, and that the obstacle is you, your natal chart, your genetic program. You are your obstacle. And until you get out of your own way and start to do God's will, which is nature's will you begin to align yourself with the oneness. Peace to the gods. But that's what your third eye is. Your third eye is not just your pineal gland. You feel me? Because you really don't have a body. You really don't have eyes. The pineal gland, the action of somebody looking at the brain and looking at the pineal gland is a projection of the mind. That's a figment of the imagination. That's not real either. So a scientist can take the brain out of a human being, examine it, look at all of the glands inside of the mind. Even that observation is a projection, is a figment of the mind's imagination. It is not real. So there is no third eye. You don't have two eyes. There's only one eye, and that is your heart, right? That's your heart, like Chi teaches us. Your heart. Because in the human body, the heart is the first thing to develop. It is the first organ to develop. And everything else is an extension of the heart. The heart is the first brain. And guess what Babylon does? Babylon calluses your heart with fear, doubt, insecurity, shame, guilt. And it weighs on your heart. You feel me? And if your heart is in darkness, then your mind is in darkness as well. And that light that you project from that darkness, that's darkness as well. It's not light. It's an angle of light that's casting a shadow. You said, oh my God, not me again? Yes, me again. Consistent broadcast in your mind. You keep projecting me. You the one who want to know truth. You the one who want to know God. I'm a repeater for God. So when you find me, when you look at me, you keep projecting me in your reality. You getting closer to God. I'm only here to point you to God. Yep, that's the right direction. Yep, the Eligio Bishop. Yeah, that's the right direction. The dreamer. Yeah, we're in his dream. Yeah. Our mother, Malia Lucia Isis, came down in the form of Eligio Bishop to illuminate us from our darkness. Because Babylon not going to illuminate you from your darkness. Babylon wants to keep you in that darkness by giving you misinformation. They don't want you to open up your third eye, or what y'all call your third eye, which is actually your awareness. They don't want you to be aware and conscious and perceptive. Your lower self doesn't want that. And your lower self is you. It's a part of you that doesn't want you to know truth. It's a part of you that don't want you to do right. It's a part of you that don't want you to overcome your generational curses. That's your lower self. That's the part of your mind that you're here to overcome. That's the devil within you. That it ain't no devil or no angel on your left and right shoulder. No, it's inside your mind. Your aspects in your natal chart, your quincunxes, your squares, oppositions, trines, sextiles, conjunctions. This is what you're battling inside of your mind. And until you understand your astrology and how you're projecting reality and understand the holographic nature of this unified field that we exist in within God's mind, then you will always be asleep to the dream. And when you're sleeping a dream, you think that this is real. You think that this is real because it's more condensed. You feel me? Your desires put you in you being in your desires and you overindulging in your senses put you to sleep. It disconnects you from God. It disconnects you from your inner self. God is within you. When you put in so much insulation inside of your body and inside of your mind, what you do is you insulate the body. Excess mucus, you insulate the body and you block the body's communication with your higher self, with you tapping into the part of you that wants to connect with God, that wants to connect with the dream, with the dreamer. You got to overcome that part of you. Only if it's designed for you to overcome. But all roads lead to the source. So whatever lifetime, you feel me, whatever dream you project yourself in, you're going to find a dreamer. That's the purpose of every reality that you go into. You feel me? Don't think that this is real because you can go eat and sleep and walk around and you can fight and touch people and if you can feel. Yeah, you got a nervous system. That's what makes this illusion real. That's what makes it feel real. Your nervous system, your five senses. But when you begin to step away from those and you begin to have self-discipline and self-control and you become the mind which you are, then you can become lucid in a dream and more aware in a dream. But Babylon, you feel me? Babylon got us. Like I said, Babylon got us by the mind. Appreciate that. Babylon got us by the mind. The holographic universe. It said in that video, it said, yeah, the person in the bed is asleep dreaming. That's you. That's you. You're in the bed asleep dreaming right now. Dreaming about this. And when you wake up, you're going to wake up into another existence. So just as you can drive a car, fly a plane, go to work, clock in, talk to people, eat with people, have family time, you can do the same thing in a dream. So what make you think that when you woke up today, that when you begin to do these things, that you didn't enter another dream? You say, how the hell do we have a nervous system if our body doesn't even exist? Because within the illusion, we have to understand the dream. You have to understand the components that make up the dream. The part of our imagination that has created that, oh yeah, we need a nervous system in these avatars to feelize the universe. You feel me? And you know that the nervous system exists not only through you feeling something through pain, touch, temperature, but through the hair on your body, because it's an extension of your nervous system. It's attached to the hair root plexus, which attaches the hair follicles to your nervous system in your brain. You see what I'm saying? Everything is connected to wires, just like a computer. This just shows you that life is a video game. It's a computer program that you logged into. You know how you log into the video game? You log in, boom. You got a memory card. Your DNA is your memory. That's the software that your hardware, the console stored to project you the next part of the game. That's your astrology, right? So you're inside the video game. When you wake up, you turn on the device, right? This is your console. You turn it on, and the mind is the controller, and the mind is controlling what the body does inside of the game, and the mind is using your DNA or your genetic blueprint, which is congruent with your astrology, to interpret the game. This life is a video game. It's a dream simulation. Appreciate the follow, Dre Steels. But we got to understand that. And that is the supreme truth of reality. And that's how you're going to open up your third eye or open up your imagination. That's how you're going to open up your mind and perceive reality for what it truly is. And that's when you become closer to God. Because you begin to realize that I am the dreamed. The dreamed, ED. I am the part of God that's being dreamed up and conjured up in the subconscious mind. And I have a role inside of the dream. I have a function. And my function is to protect the dream, to protect the dreamer. Remember the movie Inception? With Leonardo DiCaprio? He was the dreamer in those realities. And every dream he went into, which was an inception of the last dream that he came out of, he was the dreamer. And whenever something bad would happen or someone would try to hurt him, the dream or the subconscious, or what you would call the dreamed, would protect the dreamer by all means necessary. There's nothing that you can do to harm the dreamer because the subconscious mind will protect the dreamer, because the subconscious mind is God. It is a part of the dreamer. It is the dreamer. And this is what's happening. You feel me? And you're being protected subconsciously by the dream as well, through the knowledge, through the internet, through the messages that Chief broadcasted on these apps. You're being protected and divinely guided, if you don't know, by something mysterious, something that you can't even talk to sometimes. It's just an innate knowing and feeling. And that's the Eligio Bishop. You're being called to your higher self. You're being called to be enlightened. Appreciate that, God. So we live in a dream within a dream. Just like Inception. Right? Y'all thought that y'all could lock up God or kill the Christ or crucify the Christ. Chief is the Christ. Eligio Bishop is the dreamer. You can't kill the dreamer, because if you kill or lock up the dream, then the dream must not exist. Right? Since they so-called physically put Chief in isolation, in incarceration, that means that subconsciously us as being the dreamed, the projection of the dreamer's mind, we are in jail psychologically. And when they let go of Chief and when Chief begins to rise, then we will begin to wake up. But see how the dream protects the dreamer? You see how the dream protects the dreamer? Nothing you do can hurt the dreamer. They can stab the dreamer. You could, whatever you do, you can't harm the dreamer. The dreamer must rise, because he is our source. He is our source. And that's when you become awoken in the dream. When you know that, oh shit, I'm inside the mind of Eligio Bishop. And that's what you came to do. Every dream, you came to wake up. But in order for you to wake up, you got to tap into the truth. The truth comes in the embodiment of Mother Lucia Isis, in the form of the black man, the Eligio Bishop, the avatar that we are inside of. Dreams. So study dreams. You feel me? You are not separate from the dream. You are not separate from God. God created existence with thought. He said, let there be light. She said, let there be light. Through her imagination. Through her imagination, thought everything into existence. This is what you are doing. You are not separate from God. And you are to be like God. You are to do God. You are to do the will of God. But you can't do the will of God until you know who you are. But you can't know who you are until you know where you are. And I just told you where you are located. You are located inside a dream, but inside the mind or the imagination of the Eligio Bishop. And once you know that, then you begin to realize, oh shit, okay, within the illusion, biologically, let's go to the 5 sciences. Biologically, I'm a cell made up of cells, but I'm a conscious being. I'm a conscious cell. I have nerves growing on my body. I'm a nerve cell. I'm a neuron cell. I'm a thinking cell. I'm a cell that's communicating and sending electrical signals throughout the body to awaken other cells in the body. I'm a brain cell inside of the mind of God. I'm a thought of God. I'm a gene within the DNA of God, because DNA is the mind. We are all genes within the mind of God. Different thoughts, vibrating on different frequencies of that oneness in parallel universes, living in the illusion of separation. Your ego makes you think that you're separate from me. Your sense of self makes you think that, oh, I'm a woman or I'm a man. This is my name. This is where I grew up. This is where I work. This is only an alter ego, because who you truly are and what you truly are is a genetic program running from the mind of God. That ego that you have, these names that y'all got, that we got on Bigo, these just alter egos. These are finite egos that we put our characters in, that limits us within this reality. It keeps us stuck within the matrix. But your true ego is everything. When you wake up to the Christ consciousness, then you awaken to the super ego. I am everything. I'm not separate from no thing. That's the super ego, when you know that everything is you and you are everything. Till you did it, did we build it up just to watch it wash away? I mean, yeah. Yeah. We create reality to experience God's creation. And we rise and we fall. We build and destroy. We are illuminated, and we are in phases of darkness within the mind, within the cycle of consciousness that we go through within the mind of God. Yes, that's the whole game of life. The forget game. Giving yourself amnesia, like Chief teaches us. Forgetting that you are God, and forgetting that all of these amazing things that you created, you did. So you destroy it. You destroy everything just to remember that, oh shit, I created all of this. You see what I'm saying? You feel me? I'm what's observing my reality. It's a part of me. That's facts. That's facts. So don't let nobody fool you on that third eye. You don't have no eye. You don't have an eye. Go look at the 7 Hermetic principles. The first one, the very first one, is all is mental, all is mind. That life is a holographic projection of a mind. The law of mentalism. You're just a mind. Remember, you can close your eyes and still see. You can close your ears and still hear. What's doing all of that? What's doing all of that? Your mind is doing all of that. Yeah, your mind is doing all of that. But this is also a trick too. You may think that you're inside of your body. You may think that you are located inside of your body. If I was to ask you, where were you located? What would you say? Where are you located? We already know the earth. We're located inside of the earth. And the earth is located inside of the universe, which is nowhere, which is in darkness, which is in the mind of God, within the womb of consciousness. Where are you located? Where is the part of you that perceives reality the way you perceive reality? Where is that part of you? Are you inside of your body? Are you in your arm? Are you inside of your head? If I was to open up your mind, would I find you? No, you're not in there. You're not in there. This is just part of the observation. This is just a part of the dream. This is just a hologram, a part of the dream. It's all in your mind, reflection. It's all in your mind. That job you got is all in your mind. You feel me? The stress that you got is all in your mind. Once you change your mind, once you change how you perceive reality, then you can begin to live a healthier way. Begin to live in a healthier way. But it's not until you change your perspective and tap into supreme truth, which is the 5 sciences: astrology, biology, quantum physics, melanin, and grounding, which is the top knowledge on the planet, the most supreme awareness that you can have on the planet, the most objective and pure understanding of what this shit is that you can have. And that is embodied and given to us by Chief. And you got to respect it. You got to respect it. Appreciate the follow. You feel me? So that's what the third eye is. You feel me? Your imagination, your mind, truth, supreme reality. The truth is you are just a mind. And to open your awareness, you need to tap into the supreme understanding of what reality is. And that's the five sciences. And, you feel me? There is no escaping Babylon. There is no escaping and running from your reality. There ain't no committing suicide because you're going to just wake up with the same consciousness like you do every day. When you die, you're going to wake up with the same consciousness that you died with, that you transitioned or went to sleep with. The only way out is to recreate your reality through your imagination. But remember, if your awareness and how you perceive life is based in white supremacy, is based in going to work, being a robot, going with the flow, doing what everybody else is doing, then you're going to be asleep. You're going to stay asleep. You're going to create a reality that's based in hell, that's based in discontentment and you not having knowledge of self. And that's going to bring you all the way back to still having to receive the truth that's out now that Chief brings, applying that and imagining yourself a reality with that information. There's no other way to do it. There's no other way to do it. And nobody else is teaching this but God. Nobody else knows where we're at. Nobody else knows where we're located, so they don't even know who they are. How do you watch Chief teachings? You go on YouTube and you can type in Imagination Productions and you will find it right there. That's where Chief videos get uploaded on a daily, right? ATBZ, could you type in Chief YouTube channel inside the chat so that Sunny can get the information, so that she can illuminate her mind to what reality is, so that she not out here wandering around like these other lost souls? Appreciate that, King. 34 Butler was good, God. Look at me now. But that was a good question, Sonny. I appreciate your question. That's the best question that you can answer. How can I find God? Right over here. That's one of the best questions that you can ask. I appreciate that question. I appreciate that. That's an intelligent question. That show that you chosen, that you an allegio. You're chosen and selected to be a beacon of light to uplift the frequency of the planet. You feel me? To help everybody get in tune. And don't forget to ground. Shout out to Australia. Peace to the guys in Australia. What's good with you, Mark? And I'm out here in the States, in the United States, in Babylon, watching Babylon fall. Melanated beings on the rise. 3 God will rise. I don't think anything about that because that doesn't concern me. That's not my business. And it shouldn't concern you either. You don't got time to concern yourself with other people's life. You got to wake up to the truth. You got to understand your natal chart. You don't understand how your reality is being projected. How you worried about somebody else's life? Come on, y'all. Get me on the star too, y'all. Put me on the star. Yo, peace of the
Peace,
gods.
King.
Yo, what's going on?
I'm just, thank you for letting me up. I'm just trying
Absolutely.
to learn. I wasn't trying to, I was trying to see if I could make sense of what I thought she was trying to explain, because it felt like when she kept indicating that when she wakes up and put her feet on the floor, she's talking about, I guess, as you might say, I don't know, I don't put words in your mouth. She's thinking that she's having this physical experience, but what you're trying to articulate is that you're speaking more in the theoretical, meaning that we think that we're in a physical, but we're not, is what you're trying to convey. Am I right? Or in the same plane that you're trying to?
It's not theoretical or speculative. It's objective facts.
Meaning,
Science,
it's,
science,
and I hate to draw.
science proves this through quantum physics.
That's where I thought you were going. Yeah, that's where I thought you were going. I thought you were trying to connect it to science. Like for example, how they currently say that we live in like a holographic universe. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Yeah, that's where I thought you were going, and that's what I wanted clarity on. I wanted to make sure, see if that's the pathway you were going down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I was
And
building
so
on, and that's what I was building on earlier because we are in a holographic universe. And if you watch that video on YouTube, it'll even show you and state inside the video that it'll show you a man operating a plane in his dream. He's eating food with his family in his dream. He's walking, talking in his dream, walking his dog. But that is a dream. Even when he wakes up, it's not logical for him to believe or for anybody to believe that what we woke up into is not a longer dream because it is. It's just more
now,
condensed.
pardon me for saying it this way, but even theoretical physicists like Neil deGrasse Tyson recently did an interview where he was on his television show where he was trying to articulate whether or not, but he spoke about it like it's still theoretical, like that he thinks that we're in a holographic universe, and he was providing evidence. And so the example that he gave, and if you don't mind this little bit of a long story because maybe it'll make sense to your listeners, he was suggesting that imagine like right now with AI, like that humanity technologically evolves until where we can create uh like a virtual world, like a metaverse. Almost like you think on Star Trek when they went on the holodeck and they can like go into a room where they can hit a button and imagine anything that they could perceive, and it's so real to their physical person that they can't really tell it from the outside world. Things you could feel, like if you dig, you literally go down and you. So he suggested that imagine when the simulator becomes so real that the simulation can make simulations. And so suggestively that, there's an arguable point at what layer are we? Are we in a simulation of a simulation of a simulation? And are we like literally at the bottom layer of an iterative process in which, our simulations have become so creative that they can create simulations? Or are we at that first layer, literally still breaking down the barriers of, trying to get to the next layer? And I don't know if I'm doing that justice or if that makes any sense, but that's what he was basically trying to say. But I
Okay.
thought it was theoretical. I thought it wasn't necessarily a proven, stance at this point.
Say that again, the last part.
Yeah, I thought it was theoretical. I thought that this was literally still in the as theoretical physicists postulate. I didn't know that that people were suggesting that this is literal and real.
And the reason why they're still speaking theoretically and speculating, which is philosophy, because that's what they give us today in science. It's not actual complete science. It's philosophy. It's based in speculation and not observation. You feel me? Because so watch this. So there are when they say are we in the first layer? What layer are we in? There is no layer. It's just only the isness. We're just within the mind being projected on different frequencies of the mind of God. We're inside of God's dream, right? They are still stuck on that topic because they don't understand where we are located. They taught us that the earth was inside the universe, was located in the universe, and the universe is located nowhere. The universe doesn't have a specific location beyond time. That means that the universe is not located anywhere. We don't know collectively as a whole, and that means we don't know where the earth is located. So that means that if we are living on the earth and we don't know where the earth is located because it's in the universe and the universe is located in darkness, which is nowhere, no location, then we don't know who we are. So we can't truly have a profound or the most awareness of what reality is because we don't know who we are. This is what science today hasn't understand, and this is what the Christ consciousness, with imagination, with my chief, what God has taught us to bring to humanity and break down. This is the new information in the software update for the collective. We are inside the mind and the dream of the Eligio Bishop.
Can I ask you, so what is real? Since we can't identify the universe, we can't, everything that we do, we're living in a dream. What is real? Would you say Eligio is real?
What is, well, Chief is a broadcast within everyone's mind. He is our higher self. Now, when you ask me what is real, that's a good question. What is real is the electrical signals that your five senses are receiving to interpret your reality. That's what's real. The electrical stimuli that you receive from your environment, that's real because that's all life is. Life is nothing but electrical signals being interpreted and perceived by the mind. And that is the reality of
I can vibe with,
existence.
I can vibe with that. That makes logical sense.
You feel me? So that's what's real. Anything beyond that, those electrical signals that your brain interprets and projects you a physical person, place, or thing, now that, my friend, is an illusion. Now that is the fantasy. And that is what we think is reality. We believe reality is real, but it's actually a fantasy. And that's the common misconception that science is dealing with and that they're still mind boggled over because they don't understand God, because they're disconnected from truth. They think that they're separate from nature. You see what I'm saying? They think that.
I have a
Go ahead.
sorry to cut your wisdom. If Eligio is the instantiation point of this projection, then how would you articulate Eligio's ancestors that he
Well,
clearly came from?
well, when you say ancestors, you have to understand that we live within the
Meaning,
body.
you
You
know,
have to go ahead.
yeah, I didn't want to break your wisdom.
You kind of
No, you go first, please. Tell me.
all right. So when you say ancestors,
You
when you say ancestors, you have to understand that we are living inside the body of God. We are living inside the mother goddess, right? We are all cells that make up this organism. We all come from nothingness, the quantum field of infinite possibilities. We all are thought coming into existence from nothingness. So when you say ancestors, the ancestors are nothing but the cells inside of our body, the cells inside of our mind that make up our body. Because we are cells that came out of another cell.
yes.
Your mother came out of the cell of your mother and her father. You came out of your mother and father through
Right.
mitosis. We are all one. We're not separate from each other. There are no ancestors. We are the
Right.
ancestors
Yeah.
inside the body of God that we can channel and tap into to experience different parts of our nature.
So here's the nature of my question. So my question was, if Eligio is the instantiation point, then why wouldn't it be the instantiation point and not just a
What distinguishes the dreamer from the dream is that the dreamer has the most profound awareness of what the dream is. The dream will be what you call the Christ figure of the dream. And if you know anything about Christ or the Messiah in the scripture, that was a story about Yahshua's dream, and he was crucified for his belief system, his teachings, everything that he stood on. He was killed and crucified by his own people, metaphorically. And if you look into this dream, everything, the past, future, is all going on right now. And if you take a look at all of the stories that are happening right now and playing out today, you will see that the storyline and the script that Eligio Bishop has walked through on his spiritual journey is the full embodiment of the Christ, of the dreamer. And all of the dream is becoming aware of that. Like, think about it. Black people wasn't thinking about going in tune and living in nature until they seen Nature Boy. A black person didn't know nothing about going living in the tropics because we all come from Babylon. No black person thinking about getting up online with their shirt off, talking about knowledge itself, talking about spirituality until they seen who? Nature Boy. Now, everybody might say, oh, well, the knowledge is, we all got part of the knowledge, but it's not until we seen Chief speaking, that the dreamer speaking, that the rest of the dream, the subconscious began to wake up. What makes him the dreamer is that he has the most profound awareness of what the dream is and is leading and guiding people to the source, which is nature. Nobody else is doing that. No one else that you can name is doing that. And that was the
back.
purpose of Yahshua.
I respectfully push back by suggesting that no one else, maybe nobody else is doing it now, but people were doing it before him, respectfully.
But look, and then that's where we get into the issue. Because there is no before anything. There's only now. Everything is happening right now. Because if there was somebody that was doing it, you would be able to name them.
Not necessarily, but I hear you. And I don't have to name them specifically or implicitly to know that there was a time before, when people were living in nature, because we didn't have that lack thereof that we do now, conceptually. So, realistically speaking, people lived in jungles. People lived all around the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that that's an arguable point.
What I'm saying,
I mean,
to you
now,
is
to
that,
your point, people aren't.
go ahead.
Uh, Now you go, King.
What I'm saying to you is that
I'm listening.
what makes him the dreamer is that he has been illuminated to what this is. No one else understands reality like the dreamer does, like Chief does. And that's what I'm saying. Now, it's up to you to go do your research and do your own due diligence and study the information that he provides for you to come to the understanding that I have came to. You just not going to come to it just by me giving you a few points. You're going to have to go do your own research. But what I am telling you and what I can do is let you know that that is the dreamer and that is the source of your reality. And until you tap into the truth, the way, and the light, then you can't enter the kingdom of God, which is within you, because you have to have knowledge itself to enter the kingdom. But that knowledge itself is not given to us through the society that we're in. It's given to us through the black man, and that is the Eligio bishops.
Yo, thank you for letting me come up and chop it up with you, big bro.
Absolutely, Reb. I appreciate that, King. Appreciate that, family man. But yeah, that's good. That's good questions. That's good questions. You feel me? And at this point, you gotta just all you gotta do is just do your research. Go do the research. It's in your face. It's right in our faces. Because we just can't get true just through studying one aspect of reality. We gotta go and decode the Bible. We gotta go study melanin, study grounding, study astrology, study biology, study quantum physics. We gotta bring all of these studies together to get the truth. The truth is in pieces. And that's what made Chief a genius as well. It made Chief the dreamer as well. Because he's pieced together the whole complete puzzle of what reality is. And no one else has done that. You just said Neil deGrasse, they still theoretically and speculating on topics because they don't have the divine truth. They don't understand that nature is our source, that we are supposed to be in tune with nature, and that we are inside of a dream, and that dream is God, God's mind. But they don't understand who God is. They think God is Jesus. They think God is Yahshua, but the Christ is here right now. Remember, if God is the dreamer, right? Because we're living in God's dream, God's imagination. That would have to mean that God would have to be present for you to be present or the dream to be present. Just like when you go to sleep, you got to be present. You got to be there dreaming about the dream for it to exist. If somebody killed you, then the dream would not exist. You wouldn't exist in the dream. And that's what's going on. You got to understand that. But nature is God. And Mother Nature has given humanity her only begotten son. And whoever is to believe or be alive in it shall not perish. The son in human form, the man, the conscious mind, the masculine form of the mother goddess. They still thinking about Jesus when Jesus don't exist. They still think that they separate from nature. Because if they knew that nature was the truth, then they would go connect to nature. They would stop doing what they doing, working them jobs, selling their soul for money, and they would go connect to what's sustaining everybody's life. But they're asleep in a dream as well. And they're going to awaken. Terrence Howard, Neil deGrasse, what's dude name? Bill Carson. They all going to awaken to the fact that Chief is the dreamer, that Chief is the Messiah. And if you go read the Bible over again, you're reading a story about Eligio Bishop and not Jesus. You feel me? So